Hi everyone, it's Kate. So the movie today is Jurassic Games. It's like a Hunger Games Jurassic Park mix where inmates, like death row inmates, are put on in a simulation where they have to like fight dinosaurs and like escape certain puzzle things. And the last person to survive gets exonerated. What's the word? They get out free and their little record is clean, even though they're like literal like serial killers and like cannibals on this list. So like that's really cool that we're just like letting them go free. Love that so much. Our main character is Anthony Tucker. He was convicted of killing his wife, but he claims he's innocent. His kids think he's innocent. A lot of people claim he's innocent. When he talks about it, it doesn't feel like there's a ton of actual evidence because like it's very hard to get not only convict someone of murder, but also to convict them on death row because you have to be like 100% sure. There was no evidence that he had killed his wife other than that it was like the kitchen knife from their house that was used to kill her, so it's like, dog. I have a feeling that this wouldn't actually happen because if it did, they would need a lot more evidence than just being like, the weapon was already in the house, so we had to have done it. Throughout the movie, we go from like the simulation where the contestants are and the real life thing where the game show is happening. And it's televised like in the Hunger Games. Like think of the Hunger Games, how it's like there are like watch parties and there's like a host and the host talks about certain things and there's like stuff that the game makers like put into the game. It's very much like that. So like they did copy a lot of it from the Hunger Games, but the host goes from like the real world and then he transports into the game. And he's like, so, contestants, this is what's gonna happen. And he's like, there are no rules, y'all can kill each other and stuff. But he's like, but don't kill each other right away. So we still have something to look forward to, like in other levels. And it's like, oh my gosh. He explains they each have a collar on their neck, which doesn't make sense if they're in a simulation because if they go too far, they can just kill them. But it's to show them where a safe zone is. I just hit, and there's a safe zone. So it's like they have a collar and it shines red, yellow, green, or nothing. And when they're getting a little bit closer, it's red, and then when they get closer to the safe zone, it's yellow and then green. But it's around their neck, so they can't see it. Like, you can't see a flashing light that's here. Is it red? Oh no. I can't see. Hey, can you, is it red or green? A bunch of T-Rexes come out and they kill some people, and the first guy who dies, it's so funny, they have an instant replay of it, and it was quite funny. I have to admit, I did like this part. It like was very much TV, and then it was like, here are everyone's stats, and it was like, this guy's 6'3", 200 pounds, and he's killed 10 people. It was quite funny. I did like that. It was a funny bit. I don't like admitting that I liked this movie, but there were certain parts that I was like, okay, that's kind of funny. That's kind of funny. I wish they took themselves a tiny bit less seriously, though. We meet Joy. She runs into our main character, Anthony. Joy is supposed to be like a cool, like, evil baddie where her whole character is just like, I'm a psycho. Me. She's like a Lara Croft outfit, and it's like, do not impersonate my girl. She does not deserve this. It just felt like they were trying to make her, like, too cool.
I'm not here to kill anybody.
I'm here to kill everybody. Lighten up.
And it's like, oh gosh, girl. You're frightening me in the wrong ways. You're making me want to turn off the movie. Joy and him meet because another guy wants to kill Joy, but Anthony hits the guy to get him off of Joy. Joy kills the guy, and then Joy hangs Anthony. Like, she like grabs a rope, ties it around his neck, and then like tries to string him up from like above a cliff. But it's like, girl, you could not lift that man. Like, are we pretending she's like She-Hulk or something? Like, she's a tiny girl. Like, I don't think she could carry that man, let alone string him up. And so you think he's gonna die, right? She dips. She's like, bye. But then another guy, his name is Ren, saves Anthony. Ren is semi-important. He's in a couple more scenes. He dies in kind of like an uneventful way, but it's like none of these characters mean anything, really. And then two brothers, they are somehow in the games together. Like, you could like choose. It's like literally Morpheus being like, do you want to pick the blue pill and stay here in prison, or pick the red pill and fight dinosaurs? Whatever. They go and gang up on this one guy named the Wasp, a killer, and they are about to kill him, but then he's like, guys, I can save you guys. Like, I can save your dying mom. So they keep him alive because they think that he can help their mom who's dying, like, if he gets out. But it's like, it doesn't make sense. It's like, then why don't you guys just try to get out and save her? So then after this, everyone is pretty much in the safe zone. And then everyone gets into like this like enclosed like room with a bunch of screens. Then they get like long chains, and they're chained to the wall, and they have to like do a maze with their fingers. And at first I was like, is this the maze that we're talking about? This is so stupid. But no, it's just it's just like the start of it, and then whatever. So the person who finishes the maze first, it's like one of those drawing things that are like on the back of cereal or on like kids menus. The person who gets it first gets a gun, like a gun. It's like a laser gun sort of, I guess. I don't know, but it kills things. It can kill. The cannibal gets it. I forgot to mention, there is a cannibal in it, and he just like bites people. Very odd. He's just like and bites people's necks. Isn't it like unsanitary to like get other people's blood on you, especially like in your mouth? And he's just going around like biting people. Like, girl, you are not a vampire, man. Like, you could get an illness. A blood-borne illness. They go into an actual maze. I forgot to mention, Anthony gets the gun from the cannibal because he, like, fights him and he grabs the gun. And they all run into the maze, and a bunch of velociraptors are coming out. Stephanie and Anthony meet up. Stephanie is another girl that has only had, like, one other scene before this. She is semi-important. Everyone gets out of the maze except for Ren. He dies from velociraptor. Oh my gosh. From velociraptors. Stephanie, since she was the one who made it out first, gets a map, and you don't know what it's for yet, but eventually you will. Everyone wants the map because they're like, I don't know what this is, but it said that it can help us in the future. So the brothers fight for it, and they get it, and they start walking. Everyone starts following them. Stephanie and Anthony are still trailing behind. Whenever they're all like relaxing because they don't know where else to go or something, they're just like sitting down for a break. Wasp, he gets eaten by a Venus flytrap, like a giant one. Well, he doesn't necessarily die, but he's like close to dying. And then one of the brothers is trying to save him because they're like, he can help our mom. And then he's like, I wasn't gonna help you, loser. So the guy kills him. And then it's the brothers, Stephanie, Anthony, Joy. And the cannibal. I forgot about him. He looks exactly like one of the other characters. So for like half the movie, I thought it was the same person. And then I was like, oh, they're not the same person. They have to navigate a minefield. And that's what the map is for. The map has like a bunch of different, like it has where the bombs are. So Stephanie got it back. So they all start walking. But then one of the brothers gets trapped outside like the force field thing, and his head blows off. So, and then the other brother's sad, and then he gets eaten by a dinosaur. So at least they like die in the same breath. No one really cares. They're kind of, I don't know. They were very unimportant. So the thing in the box is a clip like with extra ammo in the gun and a knife. Stephanie gets both, and then the cannibal comes up and takes the things from her. He also wrestles Anthony. He gets the gun and the knife. He stabs Anthony. Anthony runs off into the woods. Stephanie runs away too because now she's bit. Joy follows Stephanie, pushes her off a cliff, kills her. A saber-toothed tiger eats Stephanie. I thought it was very crazy that they added the saber-toothed tiger. The cannibal is running through a cliff trying to find Anthony because he was chasing after Anthony. And a bunch of bugs go and eat him. They kind of look like giant roly-polies. Like, think of the scarabs in The Mummy whenever they quickly eat people. It's kind of like that, but not as cool because The Mummy tops literally every movie ever. Joy and Anthony are the only ones left. They get it transported into the desert where they have like a really long chain attached to their legs, and that chain is attached to like a middle thing with a padlock. So they have to find the key in the padlock, and you find out that the key is somewhere buried in the sand between the padlock and them. Anthony is digging for it. Joy's like, nah, I'm not gonna do this. So she goes over and she's like, I actually didn't even want to get out. You think a girl like me could survive like out in the wild? No, I just wanted to see you, Mr. Goody Two-Shoes. Everyone was crying whenever you got sentenced. Oh yeah, and I killed your wife. And it's like, what? Like, it's like stupidest plot twist. Because it's like, what are you talking about? Like, how? It's like, first of all, how did they put her in, like, how did they put them together in the same games? The pure coincidence? How is it that they didn't catch her? Like, I'm assuming there was DNA at the scene. How did they not catch her if they already have her DNA? And it was just, like, the dumbest plot. It was, like, the coincidence of this is so great that I just had to laugh. It was so funny. She's like, yeah, I killed your wife. And then he's like, what did you say? And they start fighting, but then dinosaurs come, and they're like, oh, crap, we need to get the keys. So They both start looking for the keys again. Joy gets it first, so she unlocks it and starts running, but then T-Rexes come out of nowhere and start chasing her, so she runs back. And then there's like a huge scuffle between her and 3 T-Rexes. Two of the T-Rexes fight. One of them is chasing after her. It's like the dumbest scene, and it's hard to explain because so much happens, but also so little. Anthony gets his thing off, and he's running. So they're running right next to each other, being like, I gotta go, because the first person out of the circle wins. So it's like the opposite of a Mr. Beast video. Anthony wins. He like reaches his arm out. It's like in Cars whenever Lightning McQueen sticks his tongue out and wins. It's like that, but less cool, because I don't like anything in top Cars. Except for the mummy. Anthony wins the whole thing. Joy's head gets blown off, and it looks so funny. And they obviously just keyed out her head. He gets out faster and wins, and then he gets pulled out of the games and goes home. That's the end of the movie. Okay, that's gonna be it. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Like and comment and subscribe. And if you do not, you will be put into a game and you will, your head will explode. So, that'd probably suck majorly for you. Yeah. Okay, bye everyone.